Hello again, everybody. Welcome. It is Wednesday. It is Hit the Pick Founders Show. I'm your host, Scott the Steamroller Steen, and I am joined by 3 of the 4 other founders. That's not a bad attendance. We got 80% here today. That's a strong B, so we'll take that. We're missing Wes and his closet, so I don't know what Wes is doing. Probably out doing Vegas things.
Well, he's out of the closet right now in Vegas.
Good. That's good. Not that we're here to judge. So. Sad week. Lost one of the all-time greats. Lost the great Ozzy Osbourne. So, R.I.P. Ozzy. I'm glad you got one last show in. And yeah, there you go. So that's
that's why you never do your last show. Huh? You die afterwards.
Wait,
what?
He announced
wasn't that the plan?
Show. Yeah, he announced it was his last show, and then a week later he died. And actually, there's a number of actors and others that have done that, and it seems like they die right afterwards. So never announce your last show, ever.
Okay.
Way, I think that's the reason. That's the reason you announce it.
Yeah. By the way, this is Scott's last show here on the Founders.
It is not.
Oh man,
it's not my last show. That's full-blooded right there, dude.
Yeah, that's rough.
All right, Kansas City fan.
So I don't. You know, it's not like I live in, Idaho and have just randomly picked the Chiefs. This has been my team since I was born. I take absolutely no shit from whatever team you're rooting for this year's fans at all. So, yeah, you're a man without a country.
I'm a man without a country this year. So
I keep telling you, there's plenty of seats on the Chiefs bandwagon, buddy. We'll make room for you.
But that's not where you want to be.
I'm most likely to go Bills because my current favorite player in the NFL is Josh Allen.
Of course it is. Of course it is. All right. Let's meet the panel real quick, shall we? By the way, this is a sponsor, of course, by hitthepick.com. Don't forget to stop by hitthepick.com for all the great deals we got going on now. It is your one-stop shop for all handicapping needs. We got free content over there. We got videos. You want to get a great deal on some season-long packages. We got those all set up, so make sure you get by and check it out. We will not be beat as far as prices go. What do you got there, buddy? What are you doing? What are you showing everybody?
Bone-sucking mustard.
Oh, yeah, that's just pretend shit from Memphis. No one cares.
Peanut butter.
No.
There you go. You just use you don't have to have special mustard. You're putting it on before you do your rub.
Yeah, you definitely have to have good mustard. If you're gonna eat mustard, have good mustard.
You're just putting it underneath your rub. You don't even taste it. It's just there.
No. The bone sucking mustard, Hebrew National Dog, bone sucking mustard, and diced onion.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were using it for barbecue.
Well, you can if you're gonna do the classic Kansas City rib rub, they sometimes use mustard as a binder, then they add the rub.
Always.
Right.
Have to have it.
But I would use a cheap mustard. I'd use Golden's or something crappy.
By the way, bone sucking sauce was one of my questions on Millionaire that I actually got right. They said, what would you use bone sucking sauce for? And they cut out my answer, which was, I don't suck a lot of bones, but when I do, it's usually barbecue. And they cut out everything except me just answering barbecue. So
you were on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
Scott, we need a show one day where we just talk about your stories. You got some interesting stuff that you don't bring up that just little things slip out here and there. I would love to hear more about this.
That was why when Rachel and I used to do like live broadcast, like we did like the national championship game one year live. And it was like plenty of time for me to just stretch out and tell like just ridiculous stories, most of the stuff that I forgot.
So Bryan Cranston, does that name ring a bell for anybody? Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I spent a season at Shakespeare Santa Cruz working with him and Patrick Stewart's daughter, Sophie Stewart. And I ended up meeting Patrick Stewart that year as well and having some Guinness with him.
Okay.
So I've got some acting stories I can tell you. But anyway, we digress.
Hey, it's David Delano, everybody, by way of, I'm going to get this right, Toledo, Ohio.
Yes.
There you go. Now making his home in Houston, Texas, where no matter what the temperature is, because of the humidity, it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. How is the weather down there, buddy?
It doesn't feel too bad today. It's one of those things like I didn't even really check. It's probably like 89. It's not raining. When it's not raining and it's July, you just know that it's hot right now this time of the day. So
where that works.
It's hot and sunny.
It's good to have you here. By the way, we're going to talk a little Major League Baseball. We're also going to talk some NFL. I know Loud has a bunch of win totals that he wants to get to because, man, we got the NFL coming up week from tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So Hall of Fame game. Dave, have you been to the stadium there in Canton? Have you seen the game?
I should have, but I haven't been there. I've driven by it. I've seen it from the outside, but I have actually not been to a game there.
It's tiny. It's tiny.
I was just talking to my wife earlier about going on Thursday.
It's like a it's like a football stadium. It's like a high school football stadium in Texas is what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what it seats, 25, 30 maybe. They've done a bunch of expansions, but you should. I have not been. I've been to Canton. I've seen the field like you have, Dave, but I have not been to the game. Tom, if you get a chance, you and the wife, got to go, buddy. How far is Canton from Philly? 600 miles or so?
It's probably a hike. Yeah, it's a drive.
Yeah, okay. All right. Dave, good to have you here, man. Good to have you here. It's and of course below Dave, you know him. You might love him. I don't know. He's up there in Eastern Washington. I don't even know where you're from. Where are you from, Lou?
So I am in actually central western Washington. I'm 70 miles north of Portland.
Yeah.
And I'm 90 miles south of Seattle. And my property backs up to the Olympic Mountains. You can see Mount St. Helens from here. Okay,
that's cool. And didn't answer my question, though. Where are you from?
Originally?
Yes.
Far northern California, but most recently I lived in inland Southern California for about 20 years.
He has a hard time answering just one question, man. Far northern California, so up among the tall trees there, buddy.
Man, he's been working hard training the police, never answered a question directly.
No kidding. I was talking to a lawyer friend last night. We were talking about he was on jury duty, and they asked him a question and said, would you be inclined to trust a police officer's word more than a general citizen? He was the only one that raised his hand and said no. And he immediately got selected for the jury. So what about you, Loud? Would you accept the policeman's word before like one of us?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on.
Especially you.
Yeah, I don't blame you. ACAB, Tommy. What about you? Would you accept the policeman's word before you accept Loud's word?
Nah, I need all the facts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I have too much. No.
So yeah, especially if they've been trained by Loud. Just a regular cop is a regular cop, but you get Loud in there doing his, well, here's what you need to lie about, and here's what you need to you just know they're off the rails. So, hey, it's Tom McCreen, everybody. You might know him as Rye Cape if you're a gamer. I know you were a gamer. What did you play? What was your game? Did you have a particular go-to game you were good at?
Yes, I did. I had a few. Forza was one of my better ones. NHL, back in the day, we're talking 2016, 17.
Okay.
But yeah, games like that, sports games.
I know what NHL is. I don't know what Forza is.
It's racing.
Okay. All right. Very good. He makes his home in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Is that where you're from, buddy? You grew up there?
Yeah, pretty much. Either
Okay.
suburbs or in there. But yeah, right. I've been here all my life.
All right. Great to have everybody here. And of course, we're missing Wes, and we don't have any special guests, so we're just going to stretch out and do our thing. By the way, if anybody's trying to comment, apologies. We've they've changed our platform a little bit, and we can now no longer accept comments when we're live, which sucks. But anyway, it's good to have you here with us.
I wonder what the reason was, but we could talk about that off the.
What's that? The reason?
I'm curious to the reason, or maybe is that more of an?
Because the free version of our platform took away a lot of the features, so we can't have special intro music. We got to have that bastardized version of that 10cc song for the intro music, and we can't take comments live, and there's some other stuff we can't do. But anyway, let's talk about who's hot and who's not. Dave, how are you doing lately, buddy?
Well, basically the only thing going on right now is baseball. But yeah, I've been right now I had the Brewers today as an underdog. I'm about 46-18. Long 12-3. I mean, about 59% for the season over about 270 plays. So, I mean, I guess to be honest, baseball long, short, middle. I've been on a pretty strong tear in baseball.
Very nice, very nice. I've got the. I've been on a nice little run. I'm a little 6-0 premium run, 2-0 on my free plays, and both of them have been plus money parlays. So missed the parlay today because Justin Verlander decided to finally look like a pitcher after making 8 appearances and his team losing every game. Today he decided, hey, I am Justin Verlander, and I'm going to go out there and no-hit him for 4 innings and pick up the win. So, yeah, and you know who's hot right now? If you want to take a home run prop, Sal Perez, guys. I believe it's 9 home runs in his last 13 games. He popped one out today. So if you are the prop type player and you want to take a prop, Salvador Perez. Anyway, Dave, back to you. So you're killing it. You had you had a winner today with the Brewers. The Brewers are a good team to bet. I played them a lot lately, and they have been very, very good. What else? You doing any WNBA? You messing with it at all since the All-Star break?
A little bit, man. It's been a little tricky. I actually had a free pick yesterday, and the Seattle Storm, Skylar Diggins didn't play, and they got crushed. So WNBA been a little up and down. I do like Phoenix today for what it's worth. Very, slightly. They're playing Atlanta, and I guess I'll quickly mention WNBA just so weird that they've had such a long break. I know it was the All-Star game, but Atlanta's playing on a back-to-back against Phoenix, who hasn't played in a week. So I do like Phoenix in that game tonight. It's a return game for Brittany Griner to Phoenix for what it's worth, but I still like Phoenix to win that game against Atlanta. But WNBA, I've been treading lightly on that, but it's the only game on the schedule tonight in the WNBA. But I do have a best bet in baseball that's up on hitthepick.com. If people want to grab that, it's still available. So I do have one more play in baseball going tonight.
There you go. I think the Dodgers are going to screw me. I had them on the run line. They had bases loaded, 1 out, scored 1 run. And now I think I'm in trouble. So, yeah, that's the way that goes. That sucks. Hey, Loud, you got any WNBA plays going on tonight?
No, there's only that one game, and I just want to wish Brittany Griner well. I mean, I hope he's fine. I
almost didn't even want to say her name because I knew something was going to follow.
Well, you knew somebody was going to say something. You knew who it was going to be, and you knew what it was going to be. You knew it wasn't going to be me or Tom. You knew who it was going to be. You knew exactly what it was going to be. So, yeah, that's you make your cake, and somebody's going to eat it. There you go. I know it's a big day for you, Loud. You've got a baseball play today.
Yes, I do. I do. And I just came up with it, so it's not up on the site yet. I thought I'd announce it here on the show since it's such a special occasion. The Blue Jays taking on the Yankees. The Blue Jays are actually plus 120 on the money line. When you look at this pitching matchup, if you just look at the ERAs, it looks like it's in favor of the Yankees, but it's actually not. The Yankees pitcher had a much better ERA earlier in the season. His last few outings, he's gotten knocked around a bit. And then it's the opposite for the pitcher for the Blue Jays, where he was kind of shaky earlier in the season and has put together a couple of gems. I think his last outing was 6.1 innings and like 2 runs, maybe 1 or 2 runs. And he owns the Yankees. He's 4-1 against the Yankees. And the Toronto Blue Jays smash left-handed pitching, which is what they'll be facing tonight. So I've got 2 on this. I've got Blue Jays plus 120 on the just straight up there to win. And then Vladimir Guerrero is minus 104 for 1+ RBIs. So if he gets 1, you cash that ticket at only minus 104. So those are my 2 plays. That game goes off in about 50 minutes.
All right, very good. I'm just checking. Did you say IRA?
ERA. IRA is an investment fund.
Oh, yeah, it's also a little band of
also the Irish Republican Army
in Ireland. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, my uncle used to own a bar in San Francisco, and rumor was he actually was an IRA supporter and would bring their gunmen over and hide them in the United States.
There you go. Rumor has it.
Yes, my uncle Mortimer Fitzgerald.
None of those are true. All right, very good. Tommy, Lou's talking about ERA, I think. And when you're capping a baseball game, what pitcher stats do you like to go for? What are you looking at? Because I know there's a lot of guys say ERA and WHIP. Those are old school stuff. They don't really mean anything. What are you using when you're handicapping a game, brother?
I mean, I do like those two. I more like to see how their road home splits, how they done the last 3-5 outings with their starts.
Yep.
And then you can look at what the bullpen's done. If a guy's gone 6-7 innings in a last 3 games, you might want to think that the bullpen, like Christopher Sanchez the other night, you think the bullpen's going to get a rest, and then you could rely more on that starter.
Yeah, very good. And then that's there's a couple of good sites that show bullpen usage over the last 3 days of the last week or so, and you can get a pretty good handle on who's available and who's not. You know, if you had to use your closer 3 weeks in a row, or three games in a row, it might be something you want to take a look at there.
Right.
But you don't do the deep dive. Do you do like a spin rate and all that stuff?
No, I mess with XFIP a little bit, but yeah, I'm not too much. I want to know what he's expected to do compared to what his actual numbers are. So yes, so a little bit I do look at that, but it's not big in my handicapping. All
right, very solid. And I know you handicap everything, buddy. What are you hot at right now? What are you killing?
I'm not hot at any. Really, I was great over the weekend, and since Monday hit, I can't win a bet.
Okay, well, we need to work on you and your hype, bud.
Yes, we do.
We really do. So, all right. You know what? Let's talk to
when Tom gets on here later during football season, and he lets the people know that he's killing it. They'll know that he's really killing it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm streaky. I'm not in a great one right now. It's all right.
Yeah, I think we all are. I think most handicappers that handicap multiple games every day, they get streaky. And sometimes you look at a game and it just jumps out at you. It couldn't be more obvious. And sometimes you spend 2 or 3 hours on the whole card and you're barely able to find one bet that you like, you know?
Well, as long as you're talking about that, let me point something out that I think is a problem for the way a lot of places hype their handicappers. A lot of sites, they start hyping somebody when they're like on a 10-2 run or 14-4 or something like that.
Right.
And this is in economics, what they call the hot hand fallacy. It's like the same as in basketball when somebody's hit several shots in a row and people automatically start live betting that they're going to hit more in a row, sort of the opposite of betting Angel Reese. And so that actually, when somebody is on a run like that, the chance that they're going to return to the mean is very high. So that's almost not the best time to get on Handicapper or on somebody who's hit a bunch of shots is at that point, because the odds are they're actually going to start to regress back towards the mean. So as a person who's going to buy picks, I lean towards when I used to be a consumer, I lean toward handicappers that I watched for a long time that were consistent winners, that would consistently go 60%, 65% on a season, and then I would buy packages. I thought it was much better value. Buy somebody's picks for a week, for a month, for a season. Somebody who is solid. And, there's not anybody except for maybe me in this group that I would be afraid of buying a whole season of picks from. Now, you come to me for football or for hockey, I absolutely say you will get value having a package from me. But, I will defer to everybody else. You've all been actually handicapping for money a lot longer than I have. So, although I'm one of the oldest ones in the group, so maybe the oldest.
Loud, giving everybody a peek underneath the hood and ripping out a few wires there, buddy. So nicely done.
Well, there you go.
If you see me on the 7 days, start buying.
Yeah, I mean,
probably subscriptions. Like you said, 30 days, 7 days. Go ahead.
The thing is, everything Loud said is absolutely true, except for, and I can tell you this from marketing picks for a long time over that site that shall remain nameless. 26-7, 26-10, that doesn't sell. 11-2, 10-1, that's what sells. And I understand exactly what you're saying. It is a perfect example of the hot hand fallacy, and yet that is what attracts.
Well, I wouldn't disagree that that's what sells. I'm saying that the consumer is wrong.
I totally agree, because I went into it with that mindset. I went into it like, let's tell everybody. I want to know that if somebody's 35-15 over their last 50, let's pump it. Let's pump it. There's somebody hitting 70%. And you get people just see numbers and go, that sounds pretty good. Oh, this guy's 13-2. Okay, we'll get him. So anyway, but yeah, that is what one of the great things about our site is. Everybody that came and started this site has been a successful handicapper, not just years, but decades. And that's and with the exception probably of Loud, who's been doing it, I don't know, probably 8-10 years or so, bud?
8 or 10 years now. I've been handicapping sports since I was 12 years old.
Right.
But I've been betting on sports since I was 16.
Right.
But actually getting paid to be a handicapper, about 10 years.
Yeah, there you go. And, but again, if you look at his football results, they're outstanding. And that's one of the things that none of us try to get out over our skis. I'm not going to sit here during the summer and tell you that I'm a soccer or WNBA expert. I'm not. I don't follow them close enough to be able to make intelligent picks every single day. I went 2-2 on the WNBA over the All-Star break. I was thrilled about that because I still had premium plays out to my subscribers. But what I do is I do baseball, and I do a good job at it, and that's what I spend my time on. So, and I think that goes for all of us. We're not, just like David said. I got to lean in this WNBA game, but take it for what it's worth.
And what's also good is all of us are intelligent enough people to know what we're good at and what we're not good at, but we're also smart enough to find gimmicks. And it's funny, Scott, you were the guy that made me start picking baseball a few years ago. Right. And if you remember that first season, I actually got really hot.
Yeah.
For a while and was doing really well. You know how I was picking?
I do not.
The weather.
With the wind?
I was doing over or under totals, and I was looking at the weather reports, and I was especially looking at certain parks. Oakland, San Francisco, Colorado, other outdoor parks where it tends to be warm or cold, and then looking at which direction the wind was blowing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would look at the ERA of the pitchers. Right. And that was my system. I would pick either an over or an under, and I bet a lot of unders in San Francisco and Oakland, and a lot of overs in Colorado and other warm weather places. And I did really well for a season.
Yeah, that's a great tip. And that's been one of my things. I always love playing West Coast unders at night.
Yeah.
Because you get the marine layer that comes in and it just sits there. It kills the balls. And it's especially Northern California, to a lesser extent, San Diego and LA. But when you're talking about previously Oakland, RIP, and San Francisco, man, they have a lot.
Well, you've got three coastal ballparks.
Right.
Or you did. Petco. I don't know what San Francisco is called now, and of course the Oakland Coliseum is gone now for the A's.
Right.
But at one point, you had 3 coastal ballparks.
Absolutely.
And the funny thing is, people who aren't from the West Coast would not understand that during the summer on the West Coast, it can be freezing at night. Because the fog rolls in, it's wet, it's cold, the wind is blowing in from the ocean. It doesn't blow out from the ocean, it blows in. And all those ballparks face the outfield is out towards the ocean. So it just kills home runs.
Yep, it absolutely does. That's why they bop them into McCovey Cove there, buddy. Very good. All right, so
Oh my God! Look at me talking baseball.
I know, man. You're just absolutely killing it. Anybody else have any final baseball thoughts? Anybody that's hot? Any team we should be looking at? Any players for player props? I gave you Sal Perez. Anybody else got anything they want to talk about before we move on to the pigskin?
Nope. I'll be bored tomorrow though. There's only five games.
Only 5 games tomorrow. That's right. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I think Lau made a really good point there, though, as far as one thing that I do love about baseball, and I know you were talking about advanced metrics and things that people look for. There's so many different ways that you can, pick winners, and I think that you've got to, once you find something that works for you or a lane that you understand, anywhere that you can find a personal edge, I think you run with it. There might be something that works great for me that, maybe not work for Scott, or something that Scott uses that I don't get, or something that works for, Loud or Tom. And I think, whatever lane you have, wherever you find an edge, there's so many different ways to win. I think that that's important, to not just try to copycat what everybody else is saying as far as, the money's here or the weather's here. Find out what works for you, and when it's working for you, just trust yourself and roll with it.
Yeah, very good. And that's the thing. I never make a totals bet without checking the wind. That's just automatic. You got to see if the wind's blowing in, especially when you get to parks that are aided a lot by the wind, like Wrigley comes to mind, of course. You get a difference in wind. You can have 2 teams with similar pitchers pacing back to back. One total will be 8, the next day it'll be 10.5. So it's all about the wind there at the friendly confines. So let's talk a little NFL. We got the Hall of Fame game coming up, as we mentioned, a week from tomorrow, a week from Thursday, the 31st of July. We went through some win totals last week. What do you got for us this week, my friend?
So you can look at all my videos. I've been through multiple divisions now. I'm going to finish up. I've got 8 more teams to pick so far, and I don't know why suddenly the the Excel spreadsheet that I need is not here now. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me pull that up. All right, so we have done the AFC West, the AFC East, the AFC North, the NFC West, and the AFC East, and I am going to finish up the NFC North today. Now, the NFC North, I think, is one of the most unpredictable divisions in the NFL this year. The Lions lost both coordinators. How much difference is that going to make? The Packers, they can look awesome. They can look not great. The Vikings, J.J. McCarthy's a true rookie coming off an injured knee. And the Bears, Caleb Williams, a lot of changes, a lot of additions, whole new coaching staff. But can they fix Caleb Williams? Because a lot of his issues, holding the ball too long, not getting his reads right, backing up instead of stepping up in the pocket, which makes for really long sacks and drive killers. Are those things going to be coached out of him in a training camp? Or is it going to be a work in progress all season? I don't know. But I'll tell you this. The NFC North has a terrible, terrible schedule problem. They draw outside of, now think about this division, the Lions, the Packers, the Vikings, and the Bears. They all play each other twice. None of them are terrible. I would say the Lions are probably the best team, the Packers next, with the Vikings sort of in the mix. And I'm sorry, you can't make me trust the Bears until Caleb Williams proves he can play quarterback at the NFL level consistently. Then they draw the NFC East. Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys. All of those teams are dangerous. And then the Giants, who kind of stink. And then they draw the AFC North. Ravens, Steelers, Bengals. Although with what's going on with Trey Hendrickson, who knows there and how if their defense is going to be even as bad as it was or worse than last year. And then you have the Browns. And then you look at the Lions, the sort of free agent teams that they draw. They draw the Chiefs, Buccaneers, and Rams. That is a tough schedule. The Packers have a little bit easier. They draw the Cardinals, the Panthers. But then the Broncos late in the season at Mile High, that's not going to be easy. The Vikings draw the Falcons, the Chargers, and the Seahawks at Seattle. And then the easiest schedule, I think, as far as wild card teams that they play, the Bears, they get the Raiders, the Saints, but then they're at San Francisco towards the end of the season. So I have the Lions at 10-7. That's under a number of 10.5. I have the Packers at 8-9, under 9.5. I have the Vikings 7-10, under 8.5. And I have the Bears 7-10, under 8.5.
Okay, very good. And that's always the challenge, and it's one of the things that makes like the New England run or the Kansas City run even more impressive is the fact that you're playing first place schedules. Like you mentioned, they're catching the Rams there as part of and that's not even the division they're playing, but the
Lions. Let me just repeat.
That's what I'm saying.
The etc. teams they get at Chiefs, at Rams, Buccaneers.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's only really one light game in that, and that's really probably the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rams
can beat anybody.
The Rams and Bucks are a little they're kind of similar in that, like you were saying, they can beat anybody on any given Sunday, and they can absolutely lay down and look like crap. Both those teams were 10-7 last year. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I will make one bold prediction for the NFC West, and that is San Francisco will not be in last place again, because now they get to play the last place schedule. So
I actually have them at 10.5, which is a game better than I have the Rams. Which
I don't hate that.
Surprised me. Okay, but it surprised me. I thought the Rams were going to be the team that I would like winning the division, but the 49ers schedule is kind of a cakewalk.
Yeah, that's the thing. They get the 3 last place teams as their add-ons. So, and you're talking about the Rams. They're getting who are they getting extra? They're getting the Eagles, Texans, right? Is that who won the South there, and the Buccaneers, right? Nope, they're playing that division. The Lions,
right?
The game we were talking about.
They draw kind of tough there.
Yep, that's a tough 3-pack right there for sure. All right, go ahead, Bo. What else you got?
So a couple things looking at either teams that I think are going to be consistently playing games that go over in time in terms of the score. Looking at the Bengals and the Rams for being teams that I will lean at least early in the season towards whatever game they're playing going over. Both teams play a lot of really good other offenses, and I do not trust the Bengals defense, and I know the Bengals will score a lot. And the Rams defense is weak at a key position, which is cornerback and safety. They have a great pass rush. They've got a good second level, but corner and safety is sort of not great. And They play a lot of teams that are going to pass the ball. So I think the Bengals and the Rams both are going to play a lot of high-scoring games. On the flip side, my teams that I'm going to lean under to at the beginning of the season at least are the Broncos and the Steelers. The Broncos and the Steelers have hellacious defenses, and their offenses are not great. Both those teams I expect to be in a bunch of rock fights. I think the Broncos and the Steelers are going to win some games, especially the Broncos. But I lean towards the under early. And, that's sort of – it's like last year in college football – I rolled with Ole Miss and the over, and I think I went 8-4 or something like that on the regular season.
Yeah, and the weird thing about that was Ole Miss had a terrific defense. They were actually very good.
They did. Their defense is better than their offense.
But they scored so many points by themselves.
Yep.
Usually.
Yep, 100%. And it shows you just looking at the first week here. With you were talking about your under teams, you've got the line in the Broncos Titans game is 41.5. That makes a lot more sense. I thought it said 45.5, 41.5. And the Steelers game, first week, man, 39.5 against Jacksonville, or excuse me, against the Jets.
The Titans and the Jets may not score in either of those games.
Yeah, that's very possible. I think Titans probably the worst team in the league.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know who you got. Who do you think is worse?
Browns?
Yeah, probably.
No, the Browns have a good defense. The Titans don't have anything.
I kind of feel like the Titans are going to be an average team. 7 wins.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I think Cam Ward is going to be decent. They still have a good defense.
Might have to open.
If they didn't have Will Levis, how many games would they have won last year? He blew a whole bunch of them when they were way out in front.
We may have to open the Steamroller Sportsbook there for that, Tom.
Yeah.
6. What's the number on the Titans this year? 4.5, 3.5?
Is that what it is?
Hang on. Let me just pull it up real quick. Titans over under.
I'm going to go with 3.5 or 4.5.
5.5.
5.5.
No, it's not
4.5. They're under. They're under 5.5.
Colts are going to be better, are they? No.
Well, and I guess that's part of
a bad division.
I'm not sure.
That's the thing. It's their division.
Man.
All right.
Yeah, that division's bad.
They win at home too. Yeah.
Dave,
I agree with Tom. I think the division's so bad.
You think they get to 7?
Yeah, around there, 6, 7. Yeah, I think 7's possible.
Dave, 7?
Yeah, I gotta look at that schedule, but ideally I would say yes, because I think even if you look at the Jags, the Colts, the Texans, I even think they can beat the Texans once. I mean that division. In that division, I'm not sure. Like we talk about, like who's worse, the Titans or the Browns. Browns' schedule, they do have a good defense, and there's definitely some issues there. But one of the things that makes it with Cleveland is they also have one of the most difficult schedules.
Okay. I've got the Titans schedule up here, so let's just go through it. Open at the Broncos, they lose.
Yep.
Then they get the Rams, they lose.
Okay.
I'm counting losses. Somebody else count the wins. Colts at Titans. Okay, I'm going to have them split with the Colts, so they win that one.
Okay.
Titans at Texans. They lose at Texans.
Yeah.
Then they lose at Cardinals. Then they lose at Raiders.
Well, I think they have a shot for a victory at the Raiders, but okay.
Yeah, probably Cardinals too. It's not a
shot, but
let's say they win. I bet they win one of those.
Okay. Then they get the Patriots at home. I think the Patriots are going to be very good.
I know you do.
They could win that game.
Yeah, that's the Mike Vrabel revenge game.
Yeah,
that's all right.
His players are going to win that for him. Then they're at the Colts. They take another loss. They get the Chargers. They take another loss. Okay, they beat the Titans. They beat the Texans at home. They lose to the Seahawks. They split with the Jaguars.
Okay.
They lose at the Browns because the Browns beats them with defense.
Yeah.
They lose at the 49ers. They lose to the Chiefs. And then the Saints-Titans game could go either way. But I think by late in the season, the Saints have the other guy at quarterback, not Spencer Rattler, and the Saints actually win a game.
All right. Even giving them the Saints game and splitting with the Jags and
I'll give them the 49ers, and I'll say they do better than 500 in division.
You think the Titans go to San Francisco and beat the 49ers?
Yep. And they do, no. and they're better than 500 in division as well.
Okay. No. All right. Well, that's 5. I got 5. So, all right, we'll see. We'll see. And if Cam Ward's the real deal, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And they certainly could be an over team because I still don't think they've improved their defense all that much. So, we shall see. We shall see.
And then the teams that I have, just interesting to bring this up. I have 3 teams that I'm going to bet early in the season to lose spreads in a lopsided fashion. And those are the Titans, Giants, and Jets. The New York teams, just like Dallas and the Raiders, are always overvalued because they get overbet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think those 3 teams early in the season, go ahead and lay the points because I think you're going to do just fine covering with those teams.
Okay. I tend to agree. I don't think we have complete buy-in on the Titans, but as far as the New York teams.
Yeah, Jets either. I think the Jets are going to be better than everybody thinks.
Huh?
I mean, they have talent, new culture, new coach.
How many games does that quarterback average winning?
We talked about this last week.
4.
7.
But that was his best season. His average is 4.
Now, Lou,
I get it.
I know you mentioned the Giants. I know they're gonna have they're gonna have Russell Wilson starting.
He was named starter.
7-point underdog already on the road against the Commanders week 1. So you think that week 1 they're gonna lose by more than 7? I know there's a lot of time.
I think they lose by 10.
Man, I don't. I get the schedule. I don't think the Giants are going to be.
Russell Wilson hasn't been good in 4 years.
Yeah, I get that.
Good last year, but
as compared to what?
I mean, he was good enough to win some games.
But it's okay.
Some spreads. Well, I'm saying I guess I can also say he hasn't been good compared to what?
Right. Compared to most other quarterbacks in the NFL, except for Will Levis and a handful of others. Oh, and Justin Fields. He's better than Justin Fields.
The best I will say about the Jets is I think they're better than the Giants.
Yes,
that's what I'll say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here's I want to see if there's a bet in this. Do the New York teams combined get over 8 wins on the season?
Absolutely.
I say yes.
I think the Jets flirt with 8 wins.
I think 8 may be a little low, but I wouldn't bet it over 9.
I've got them both under 5.5 wins.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't want to go against Tom here. I'm kind of feeling I'm reminiscing from Tom talking about the Pacers before the NBA
Well,
playoffs.
that's true.
I know.
I mean,
I'm not saying that the Jets are going to be in playoff contention. I just think they're going to be a lot better than they were last year. And yes, the number of 8 is a good flirting with number. I think the Jets are on the way.
Now keep in mind with over-under numbers, you always play to the under because what's the one thing that can happen in the NFL really fast? Injuries. And
you get better juice to the under too.
I played the Eagles to the over last year. That worked out pretty well. But
yes, it did.
Oh, I've got the teams that I have to the over so far. Chiefs over 11.5, Chargers over 9.5, Broncos over 9.5, Bills over 11.5, Patriots over 8.5, Ravens over 11.5, and then Lions, under. Oh, 49ers over 10.5, Rams over 9.5, Eagles over 11.5, Commanders over 10.5. Those are my over teams.
Okay. All right, very good.
It's split pretty evenly, but leans a little bit towards under.
So you like Detroit to win the division? We don't like Green Bay. Nobody likes Green Bay.
No, I don't. I
kind of feel like they're the most complete team.
Tom, I've got them separated by 1 win.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
So I mean that it's a coin flip. And the Lions could take a big step back, except the one thing is their defense was great against the run, and they're getting their stud defensive end back, and the kid that they took in the first round at defensive tackle is a beast. So nobody's going to be able to run the ball in Detroit.
Yeah, I don't think Detroit's going to fall too far. I just, as you said, that division's strong. I just feel like Green Bay is. I just think they're going to fight.
Green Bay is
They've
like
been a playoff
Tom.
Team for the last times with Jordan Love.
Yeah, Green Bay is like Tom to me, streaky. They tend to go on streaks of wins and losses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. All right, last thing before we get out of here. Anybody got any thoughts on the preseason game, on the Hall of Fame game? Just to remind you guys, it is Chargers and Lions. Chargers are 1.5 point dogs there in Canton. and the total is 32.5.
Well, the question is, can you bet on whether or not they use the wrong paint and can't play the game like they did a few years ago? Does everybody remember that?
What'd they do?
They used the wrong type of paint on the field, so it didn't dry. It stayed wet and melty, and they had to cancel the game.
Not ideal.
You know what? I'm like a little tired with the preseason football, and I know we got to talk about it, but I don't know. I don't like putting too much in the preseason, and I know you can find some edges. I'm still bitter about that Hall of Fame game last year. I know they usually go under. I took the over last year, and the game did go over, but it also didn't complete. So I actually had a couple winning plays get voided because they didn't play the entire game, even though the game went over. And last time I checked, you can't lose points in football, but still.
You know what? That's a hell of a
loop. Lightning or something?
Yeah, it was weather related. That's a hell of a loophole, and they do it in every single sport. If it doesn't complete, all bets are voided, and it is absolutely grade A bullshit. You should.
It's
if
like
you're,
when you get that run line favorite that -1.5 gets voided in baseball when it gets called after 7 innings and the team's
they do that with the totals too, where you cash it over. And
by the way, that the Hall of Fame game that got canceled because of the bad paint was 2016.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there. I do have a strategy for betting the preseason and doing fairly well, and that is you look at the record of the coaches in preseason.
Yeah.
There are a handful of coaches that really like to win in the preseason, and a bunch of coaches that couldn't give a rat's you know what.
Yep.
And I look for those teams playing each other. It's
like, isn't that what we're getting on Thursday? Right? Harbaugh likes to.
Yeah, and Dan Campbell doesn't care, and Harbaugh hates to lose ever.
Is it both
it's
Harbaugh?
Both Harbaugh brothers.
Is it really?
Yeah,
they're both good. Yeah, yes,
they're both dicks that way.
Okay.
I will say, as bad as the season projection is for the Browns, I think they might be one of the most interesting teams to watch in the preseason.
Because who's going to be playing quarterback?
Everybody. Yeah,
that's another one. Is look for teams that have quarterback battles between quarterbacks that are pretty good, because they're going to score more points than most. Because those guys are going to be in there with first team and second team, because they're trying to figure out who's it going to be. So David's absolutely right on that on the Browns. By the way, the first, not week 0, but week 1 of college football Saturday, here's your lineup of the 4 games you have to watch, and tell me if there's been a better week 1 slate. Early game, Texas, Ohio State.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Alabama, FSU. At FSU. LSU, Clemson in prime time. And then late night on the West Coast for us here in the Pacific Northwest, the Washington Huskies at home to take on Colorado State. I mean, you want to talk about, and then of course there's like 50, 60 other games that you could kind of, have on your second and third TVs. But man, Texas, Ohio State at the Shoe, Alabama at FSU, LSU at Clemson, Washington Huskies at home against Colorado State University. Boy, I mean, you want to talk about a great day from 9 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night.
Well, even week 0, you've got Iowa State, K-State.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good game.
That's going to be in Dublin, Ireland. So
then that Sunday, that Sunday, even though it's after Saturday, I mean, Notre Dame and Miami Hurricanes, man. That's gonna be fun too.
Yeah, but that first Saturday, Archie Manning first game at the Shoe. Alabama, FSU, after what happened to Alabama last year, LSU at Clemson, when, Brian, what's his name? The former Notre Dame coach at LSU. Why is his name escaping me? Ryan Kelly talking about being a national champion potentially this year at LSU, laugh out loud. And, for me, the Huskies getting Colorado State at home so I can finish the night with a win for the Huskies. That is actually a team I support. So
Okay. All right. Very good.
when you move to Washington, you have to pick either the Cougars or the Huskies.
Is that the way that works?
Yeah.
That's a lot like Kansas. That's people that live in Kansas, you have to be a KU or a K-State person. There's not a lot of both. Not a lot of both families there, unless you've got one side that married into the other side, something like that. But
Hey, real quick question I want to ask for, as you mentioned that opening week for college football, and I'm still like diving into it, so I haven't made my week 1 plays yet. We're looking at all this transfer portal stuff, but Notre Dame only a 3-point favorite against Miami week 1. Do you think and I know this is early look ahead, but does that seem like a little fishy to you? Does it seem like Notre Dame's not getting enough respect there? I got to see what Miami has coming back, but I know it's going to be a big game for Miami. But
that game has a lot of juice to it because the whole Catholics versus convicts history. We all remember that.
Yeah.
So that game has a lot of juice. They stopped playing each other because it got too heated in this rivalry. A lot of fights breaking out in games, in the stands, etc. So, that may be part of it, that it's just a really heated rivalry that hasn't been played in a long time. But Notre Dame's got a lot of questions on offense, namely at quarterback. So, they're going to have a fantastic defense. I don't think they miss a beat there. But, how is the quarterback play going to be? They've been going to the portal the past few seasons, and now they're sticking with their own QBs on their team. And I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Miami's got a little bit of a quarterback question on their own,
right?
Because they lost Cam Ward, of course. So, and we'll talk more college football as August gets going. We'll talk some win totals and things like that.
Yeah, real quick, get those Alabama futures in. I think everybody's sleeping on Kellen DeBoer. They got so much talent in here. Texas Tech is over under right now that you got to look at.
What's their number, Tom?
I don't know. I don't have it up right now.
Don't sleep on them. Go get it right now. What's the number?
It's 12-1 to win the whole thing, which I think they could do.
Alabama's number is 9.5 right now, by the way.
Okay.
So it moved a lot. So it was 14-1. I got it at 12. What about Texas Tech?
Roll through here.
You got a lot better number. I take them for a Big 12. They spent a lot of money this season, and I just think they're going to run through the Big 12.
I've got a juiced 8.5 for Texas Tech.
What about to? Yeah. That's good.
All right, Steamroller, take us out.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, the Big 12 went to just 2 non-conference games this season. Instead of 3 cupcakes, they now only have 2. K-State kind of got screwed. They've got North Dakota as 1, which is fine. It's not North Dakota State, but their other cupcake, quote unquote, is Army, which is never anybody's cupcake. So we'll see how that goes. They'll get an early test for that defense. So, all right, guys, as always, thanks very much for tuning in to the Hit the Pick Founder Show. Don't forget to stop by hitthepick.com, pick yourself up some premium plays. Hell, just sign up for the whole season. We got a great combo offer there for the NFL and the NCAA football season together. You're not gonna beat it. You're gonna like noodle around all these different sites and you're gonna see like $800. Come to our place, all right? Just check it out. Check it to see what we've done. We've tried to keep it user friendly. There's only 5 of us. We got no staff. We don't have a lot of overhead, and we really do pass the savings on to you. Because why? Because we want you to come and see us. All right. So that in mind, make sure you check out hitthepick.com. Hey, David, where can we find you out there on the interwebs?
Find me on hitthepick.com. You can find me on this YouTube channel. You can find me Instagram or X at GetSportsStrong.
Very good. Loud, what about you, my friend?
Hitthepick.com and the YouTube channel. That's where most of my stuff is. You will find it there.
Yep. And if you want more detailed breakdown on all of Loud's thoughts as far as the NFL win totals, He has done every division. So make sure you check that
Oh,
out.
I've got 2 more divisions to go. I'll be finished by Hall of Fame game.
Okay, there you go.
Just subscribe to this channel. That way, every time he drops one, you'll see it.
Yep. And make sure you ring the bell, get notified every time brand new content goes up. And of course, like this video. Would you give us some likes? It really does help out with the analytics, with the algorithm. It puts us in front of more eyes. So the more times, if you guys just take a couple seconds to hit like, we always appreciate that. Finally, Tommy, where can we find Mr. Rye Cape?
Yep, at Rye Cape, all social media. HitThePick.com. Make sure you check that out. We'll be doing Hit the Track Friday, 5:30.
There you go. We'll be talking about the race that Tom got to see live in person. Got to see
and we cashed the winner, so you know how happy I was.
That's right. That's right. He had the winner at 5-1. So if you're looking for more great picks from your NASCAR, make sure you check out Hit the Track, and that's every Friday at 5:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Central Time. As far as the Founders Show, we're out, boys. My name is Scott the Steamroller Steen. We've had a blast as always today. Make sure you check us out each and every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Until next week, we'll see you.